Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So I'm quite excited because today it's going to be the first time where I try a famous writer's routine. I hope that it will propel me in my writing. I hope that this system will help me increase my word count for the week, giving me a structure that apparently has worked really well for someone else. So without further ado, let's dive in. This someone else is John Grisham. So the way why this writer's routine feels very appropriate to me is because at the start of his writing journey, John Grisham had a full-time job, so he had to make space for his writing early in the morning. What he says in interviews is that at the beginning he used to wake up early and start writing at 5 a.m. in a spare room in his apartment before going off to work, and at the time his job was that of a full-time lawyer. His goal wasn't very ambitious, it wasn't to write thousands of words, all he wanted to do was write one page per day, and this feels very doable but also very powerful, because as his famous quote goes, and here I paraphrase a little, it's if you have the goal of writing a novel and you aren't writing at least one page a day, the novel ain't gonna get written. So this small commitment over the course of 3 years is what allowed him to finish A Time to Kill, his first novel that unfortunately was rejected by many publishers until it was finally picked up by a smaller publisher for 5,000 copies. When he built momentum, his daily output went up, but the discipline remained, writing every day before going off to work. Now, of course, as a full-time writer, John Grisham has much more time to write, but surprisingly, he still chooses the early mornings. He seems to be the most productive from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., and he writes again every day. He writes in a dedicated, distraction-free space, and he always outlines the chapter before starting to write. This makes it easier for him to know where he's going, and he writes between 1,000 to 2,000 words every day. Very interestingly, he apparently reports that he always starts writing a book on January 1st. I guess there is this New Year resolution, this restart of the process. Also because January, February, March, being secluded winter months, are particularly good for writing. And he tends to finish his new book by the 6 months mark, and hence why he's an extremely prolific author. In any case, my ambition is much more limited and relates really to John Grisham's first phase as an author when he still had a full-time job. Because I just came back from Asia, I'm still very jet-lagged, so I tend to wake up really early in the mornings anyway, so I thought it would be the best time to try John Grisham's writing routine for 1 week, trying to get some writing done before I go to work. What I can do and what I can take from his approach is definitely starting to write at 5 a.m. in a dedicated space, which will be the table in my living room, and I will try to have the goal of writing one page every day, and then maybe increase if it goes well, but this at the bare minimum 1 page. And also I will try to outline the chapter ahead like John Grisham does, to give myself a sense of direction. So yeah, without further ado, I will see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. for John Grisham's writing routine. The good thing is that these lights will really wake me up quickly, oh my god, okay, so the plan, my glass is so dirty. Okay, so the plan is this, I will create a new Word document and I will experiment with rewriting the first 4 chapters in second person. This follows the research I did in the previous episode, where I kind of concluded that for the type of book I want to write, there's actually a lot of precedence with using the second person and it could work. So that's the plan. Following the Grisham routine, I'm gonna do about 2 hours of uninterrupted writing before going to the office. I'm gonna chart what I want to write in the chapter, even though of course I'm rewriting chapters that I have already written, but I think they will change in any case for the second person to make sense. So, and the last thing I will do in Grisham style is to write at least 1 page. So starting with low ambition, but considering how tired I am, I think that's good. So let's get going on day 1 of 5 of trying the Grisham writing routine. And the last thing I want to mention is, of course, the workout, but given that we've decided to start a brand new document, I think we can safely assume the workout is 0. It's 7 p.m. and I finished for today, so the result is that I reworked the first chapter. Obviously I drafted it really quickly. It's about 1800 words, and so I'm a little tired, but I guess good start of the week. Now I'm gonna have some breakfast, some overnight oats that I prepared last night in preparation. I doubt this was Grisham's breakfast, but whatever, it's mine. And then I'll get ready for the office and I'll be right back here tomorrow. End of day 2, I finished to rewrite the second chapter, and so I have 2 more. If I continue at this speed, I will probably finish rewriting the 4 chapters by Thursday, and then Friday, I don't know, I'll either finalize them, but most likely I would like to then start writing something new and continue the story. So let's see how it goes. For now, I'm gonna have the same breakfast as yesterday, so overnight oats and tea, and I'm gonna get ready for the office. So I'll see you tomorrow. Day 3, and I'm already so tired. I don't know if this is supposed to get easier or more difficult as days go by, but yesterday I went to sleep much earlier. I think I was asleep around 9:30, 10, but I would have definitely kept sleeping this morning, but no matter. It's 5 a.m, so we're here to revise chapter 3 in second person and see what happens. Yeah, let's just get going. I'm too tired to talk. So far, this was the most straightforward chapter to rewrite, so I'm done a bit early. It's 6:40, so not that early, but 20 minutes earlier than the previous days. And so I'm gonna make some tea. We got this new tea that I really like. It's called Karka chai, and oh my god, it smells so good, honestly. It smells so spicy. So that's a good thing for this morning. A good reason to wake up. And yeah, so I'm gonna start getting ready for work. I will go a little bit later today because we have a technician coming in the house because he needs to fix a few things. So yeah, it's actually gonna be a little slower than usual, which is probably good because I'm feeling better than couple of hours ago, but still a bit tired. Yeah, but we'll continue tomorrow for day 4. Consistency is hard. I am tired, but it's Thursday, and on the plus side, I am actually working from home today. Thursdays are my telecommuting days, so at least yeah, it'll be a bit more chill. But true to my word, I'm here again at 5 a.m. even if I don't need to go to the office to do a couple of hours of writing. The plan for today is to rewrite chapter 4, which is the last one of the chapters I had ready and just needed to rewrite. And so, yeah, without further ado, we can do that now. And tomorrow we'll finally start writing something new, again at 5 a.m. Friday, last day of this writing challenge and last day of the week. I am really ready for the weekend. I don't know, still a bit tired. I definitely slept longer today too, but it's okay. Here I am. So today is about writing chapter 5. I was looking at it last night, actually, kind of to prep what I was going to write this morning, and it seems to me that this is exactly where I need to fit the last chapter that I found in the last episode, where it was written in the second person. So, and I would need to plug it in right here. So I'm gonna do that today. So unfortunately it's not purely new writing, because again I do have a draft ready, but it's okay. This is what happened this week, and after this Grisham writing routine I can start writing something new. But for now that's okay. So this is the plan for this Friday, and after that we are done with this writing routine and with the week almost. No, actually I have only half of the chapter written. The other half will need to be new writing, so that's good. I just hope I have the brain for new writing right now, because it's the end of the week, the last day. I'm kind of beaten, but hopefully at least do very first draft, just jot down what I have in mind. I think I'll be able to, so let's do it. My final thoughts on the John Grisham's writing routine. I think that if you have a 9-to-5 job, you have two options. You can either write in the morning before work, or you can write in the afternoon when you come back from work. For my energy level, the morning definitely works better, because this is when I feel most energetic. When I come back from work, I'm usually completely drained, completely dead. So in that sense, I am aligned with John Grisham, but writing 2 hours every day from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., 5 days a week, it's too much for me. I think what I can really realistically do is probably write an hour and a half, 3 days a week, and then book a longer writing block, either Saturday or Sunday. But still, it was a good experiment, and indeed John Grisham is correct when he says that if you don't write 1 page a day, your book is not gonna get written. Again, for me, every day is not realistic, but I can say if I don't write at least every week, the book isn't gonna get written. So that's all I have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this little experiment. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the John Grisham's writing routine, and if you prefer to write before going to work or after, or anyways, how you balance your writing with a 9-to-5 job. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao!